What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another collaboration beer. This time between the Hill Farmstead Brewery, and they are out of Greensboro, Vermont, and the Suarez Family Brewery, and they are out of Livingston, New York, and this is their 15th anniversary Blonde Ale, a collaboration between Shaun Hill and Dan Suarez. So this is a pub-style golden ale that comes in at 4.4% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed, time of review. This can is approximately 2 months old. I'm going to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Sierra Hotel, for this beer. So big thanks to him. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies he sent my way, and he sent me an outstanding beer mail that included 28 unique beers and meads, and he just so happened to throw in this collaboration, which shocked me and surprised me during the unboxing, and I'm here for it. Fun little note, I have never reviewed a Hill Farmstead beer on my channel, so this is actually the first that I've ever had from them on the channel. I've had like 15 to 20 different beers from them over the years at different craft beer bars here in New York State, at Bottle Share, so on, but I've never reviewed a beer from them, believe it or not. 2,500 plus reviews, no Hill Farmstead reviews, and until now. They have a little bit of a spiel here, and what I mean spiel, this is straight from Shaun Hill, so I'm going to review it because it's pertinent information to this beer, but if you want to fast forward a couple minutes, feel free to do so. So, he says on the back, some people move through life like a song, leaving an everlasting imprint, etched in laughter, the effortlessness of purpose, and the formation of experience that is impossible to forget. Some people are a constant source of motion, ideas, laughter, and words that loop and linger long after they've been spoken. Dan Suarez embodies this sentiment. Dan was my first employee, but more than that, he was an endless collaborative source of inspiration to me in our nearly inseparable and timeless early days together, which was from February of 2011 to September of 2013. Through long days and late nights, he filled the brewery and my life with a tune all his own. Every day, a new fixation, a new phrase, a new reason to laugh, words that I would affix and still adorn some of our coveted beers, Convivial and Saunier. My endearing nickname for Dan was Pub Style. My endearing nickname, and so we brew together again, not just a beer, but a reflection of those early days and the energy that shaped us. We offer this blonde ale, simple, classic, yet brimming with intention, a toast to laughter and to the beautiful obsessions that make life worth living, a reminder that the best friendships, like the best songs, never really leave you. Share, consider, enjoy. So I think that's a nice little touching tribute to Dan Suarez, who now obviously owns, he's the founder and owner of Suarez Family Brewery, which I think they make fantastic beers. So makes sense. Shaun Hill, Dan Suarez collaboration, blonde ale, pub style, blonde ale or golden ale, they say. I'm here for it. So they do say I read the Untapped kind of description. It says brewed with Maris Otter, flaked oats, and organic wheat, and then they hop it with Amarillo and Crystal hops. So I'm expecting just a really well-made, enjoyable blonde ale. That's what I'm here for anyway. Blonde ales, golden ales, not my favorite style, but at the same time, I can get down with them. And one from Hill Farmstead and Suarez, yeah, sign me up. How does that look? Absolutely beautiful, my friends. On camera, a little bit more dull. That's pretty nice. Pretty similar, a little bit more showy in person, a little bit more, yeah, see like... I guess I would have to go from the bottom here to really show you. Yeah, so more closer to like the middle of the glass now that you see it. Not at the bottom, but like something like, yeah. It looks, in person, it has this bright, vibrant kind of, almost looks like a hazy IPA of some sort, but it has this bright, beautiful, like kind of golden straw color, but it's more yellow and almost like, I don't want to say what I was let's just say it has this nice like hazy bright yellow kind of feature to it. You're going to see just more of like a dulled out like hazy IPA, if we're being honest here, but it looks really, really nice in the glass. 2 fingers of a soap sudsy looking head, as you can see, but yeah, I think it looks really nice. Blonde ales usually aren't this hazy, but this is Hill Farmstead and Suarez, so I don't know, it is what it is. They're just brewing something that they want to brew and not, stylistically to, the correct probably specifications, but whatever. Anyway, it's good nose. Oh, dude, that smells awesome. I'm getting a lot of Amarillo in this. This has that orangey kind of blood orange kind of hop character. Yeah, orange, a little bit of dank and floral, slightly resinous. But underneath that is a beautiful malt character that is very biscuity, very bready. It smells so like clean. I know that sounds stupid, but it's just so clean smelling. Again, it's been a while since I had a Hill Farmstead beer. I know a very good friend of my fellow beer tour, Joe, over Joe's Arcade. He thinks they're the best brewery, if not in America, if not just in America, the world. I know he just says he loves their beers, and I pretty much loved everything I've had from them. But they are harder to get. They don't distro outside of like showing up in kegs. You'll never see like cans of their stuff or bottles of their stuff. At least I haven't. And you know, you got to go to the brewery, and it's a lot of people say, oh, it's in the middle of nowhere, Vermont. But when you talk to people who are like, yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere in Vermont, you got to go anyway if you're in Vermont. Like, I get it. But this just smells like a really nice, like slightly hop forward blonde ale. But it just smells so clean, so simple. Did they say elegant? I feel like they said elegant, right? Simple, classic, yet brimming with intention. Okay, I'd say elegant. This just has like a really nice, just like simplistic yet delicious aroma. I want to get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again, Sierra Hotel. It's nice. I see why they call this a pub style golden ale. This is a beer. If you're at your local, brewery, if this was in the UK, specifically England, and they had this at the pub, I think this might be a little bit too hop forward for people to just like chug a bunch down. But here in the US, if you're somebody who likes a little bit more of like a hop forward, lighter ABV beer, this is a beer you could just session. It's 4.4%, so it's lower ABV. It has a beautiful expression of the hop character in this one. Yet it still it gives you a stark reminder that this is a golden / blonde ale of some sort. Body is like medium, maybe a touch over medium. Beautiful for 4.4%, like absolutely beautiful. Like body's fantastic. The mouthfeel, it's kind of reminiscent, and I say this occasionally about the Belgian wheat beers, the German wheat beers that have a beautiful effervescent kind of like higher carbonation, but yet still remain smooth and creamy. That's kind of what's happening here. This has a good moderate to touch over moderate carbonation. It's crisp on the palate, but on the second half, it like as it glides down the palate, it becomes smooth, and an accentuation of creaminess kind of hits on the palate, and it's just like on the sides of the tongue. It's beautiful. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you and be like, this is the most flavorful beer I've ever had, because it's not. But take in consideration, it's 4.4%. Amarillo and Crystal hops, those three malts, very simplistic, but extremely well done. Like, this is extremely well done. It's beautifully dry on the finish as well. Up front, biscuity, bready, slightly crackery. It's an omnipresent malt character that hits at the forefront, finishes on the back, but is underlying throughout. Up front, I'm getting a lot of that blood orange. I'm getting like tons of orange, specifically blood orange. It has a nice, slightly perceived tartness to it. Definitely a little bit sweeter, zesty, rindy. All of that, a little bit of like a lemon as well. Touch of lemongrass. There's a nice floral aspect to this one. Honeysuckle just has a nice floral aspect as a whole. Midway through the palate is where the hops really start to come in past that blood orange kind of feel. And to me, it's giving me more of that floral character, but it also has this nice earthy kind of like slightly herbaceousness to it. Like a very slight basil or thyme feel to it. It finishes, like I said, bone dry with a mild to moderate bitterness. This has nice sweet malt character up front, but it really does balance out. 4.4%, you can't tell. This is a very lovely 4.4% pub style golden ale. Like, this is a crusher of a beer. Like, I could drink a ton of it, and I wouldn't get sick of it. It has enough of a flavor profile and enough of an intensity to the flavors that to keep me interested in, even though they're not like overly complex. Yeah, I know I'm talking about like 10 to 12 different tasting notes, but there's a lot of those are very nuanced, like that honeysuckle and things like that. It's just a little bit like notes of that. I'm even getting like an aftertaste of like a dried apricot right now, maybe a touch of a I'd say dried apricot with like a little bit of that like white pear I sometimes get in lower ABV lagers. I'm getting in here, which is a golden / blonde ale. This is just really nice. I'm not losing my shit over it, but like it is a very nice beer for what they're going for. The quality is sensational. I told you that minerality makes me just think of the water they're using is definitely high quality. It's Hill Farmstead. Beautiful collaboration between Shaun Hill Dan Suarez, the two founders of each of their companies, the breweries. I think it's just beautiful. It really is. I can't give it a crazy high score because stylistically it's not one of my favorite, but just keep in mind that like for what they're going for here, I think they did an absolutely fantastic job. If I said like a pub style golden ale with like an American twist or a Hill Farmstead / Suarez twist on it, this is like a 4.5, 4.6 for sure. I can't go that high though, just because while I'm enjoying this one, I'm not going to lose my shit over it. It is still just a blonde ale, which to me, I like the style, it's fine, but you don't see a lot of good ones. This is a great one. So I will say this, the 15th anniversary blonde ale from Shaun Hill and Dan Suarez, collaboration between Hill Farmstead and Suarez. I am going to give this a, we'll go straight 4.25 out of 5. I think it's a really nice beer. Plain and simple, nothing more, nothing less. Awesome that Sierra Hotel sent me this one because, again, my first ever true authentic Hill Farmstead beer on the channel for reviewing purposes, and I'm stoked. Price point availability. Now, this is Hill Farmstead as a whole. Their stuff is, handcrafted for sure, harder to get, and a lot of their stuff is expensive. The cheapest, I looked at their website, they didn't have this, they had the 15th anniversary Edward, which is their American Pale Ale. That was, I think, 18 or 19 bucks a 4-pack. I'm assuming this was at least $16 a 4-pack, if not $18 a 4-pack. It is an anniversary beer. It's Hill Farmstead. Is that expensive? Yes, that's $4.50 a can. Would I pay that? If I could grab a can of this to review, yes. Would I buy this again at $4 to $4.50 a can? Depends. Definitely to share it with people. I don't think I'd just buy it just to drink myself because, again, I pretty much drink a beer a day. I review most of my beers, so I wouldn't do it from that aspect. I don't think the value is fantastic, but I also think if you're at Hill Farmstead and you want something different, grab it. I mean, they do a lot of cool beer, but like this is a nice anniversary beer. But, I always say price is in the eye of the beholder. I didn't pay for it because Sierra Hotel is nice stuff sent my way, but I don't know if I would rebuy this again at that price point. Let's just say that. Availability, Hill Farmstead, as far as I know, brewery only, especially with the cans. You're not going to be able to, I think they ship maybe to like 3 or 4 states, but they only ship like every couple months. And I don't think everything's available for shipping. So you really got to go to the brewery if you want to get most of their stuff. I need to make a trip up there at some point. This is one of my bucket list breweries for sure. They're not that far away from me, but they're far enough where it's like I've never been really in the vicinity outside of being in Saratoga Springs once, like 4 years ago. But like outside of that, like I don't really go up that way. But they're on the list for sure. So if you've had this one before, please post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. I think it's a crisp, very clean beer. Love the water profile with that minerality, that just cleanliness that you can taste. Not too crazy of a beer. A little bit hop forward, but still has the true essence of a blonde / golden ale. 4.4%, you can't tell. And the body and mouthfeel are spectacular. So I'm going to shut this one down. Huge thanks to Sierra Hotel for this one. Again, if you've had it before, post in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. To the next one. Cheers.